So I'm going to do a video this time on Elon Musk, so using my software. And so hopefully the rain is not too much. I'm outside right now, and it's a bit raining. So here we have Elon Musk's chart on my phone, and we can pick whatever setting we want. So I'm demonstrating this phone application, and at the same time I'm going to read the Eclipse for Elon Musk. Recently he released some new Grok model which seems to be quite good actually compared to what Grok used to be, which was basically useless from my point of view. Right now it has become, I think, a serious competitor because it's actually cheaper than the Chinese model, and it's performing better than them. So it might be a cheap alternative and at the same time performing quite good. So we're going to check what's going to happen with the next eclipse regarding its chart. So this is the chart. He has the Sun in Indra, Mercury in Indra. In the tropical setting, that would be Cancer. We are not going to use the tropical setting because I think they work less. They are good too, but not as precise. So we're going to use this. And if we click on it here, we can have the description of Indra. And you can see God of thunder and inner conquest. The thunder part is very important here because this guy is the electricity master. And when you check a YouTube video about him, what they say usually is that he behaves like he's some kind of god. And so the description fits better than if he was just Cancer, which is in this zodiac is the sign just above it, Varuna, which isn't as great for him because there's some affliction there. But we're not going to talk about that yet. We may at some point talk about it. We also have Tvasta here, which is the equivalent of Libra. You can see the icon here. And if we click on it, we have the description of Tvasta. And Tvasta is about vehicles. That's why on the icon, if I zoom enough on it, I'm at the maximum, but you can probably see here that we have planes, someone running, a ship, an airplane, a train, a bird, and even a bike. So Tvasta is about vehicles. And this guy built electric, the god of thunder, Indra, he built electric vehicles. So you have it there, right in front of you, his job, his abilities. And Tvasta is not just about vehicles, it's about, because in astrology vehicles have a particular meaning. It's about the vehicle of the body first. So it's not just about having a car, it's also, so for example, if you have this sign, it doesn't mean you build car necessarily. It can be that you like design, being a designer, because usually cars are beautiful. And so you can design something about the body. So you can be a designer, for example, or you can be a poet, or you can be, so Tvasta is not just vehicles, but it can be someone who likes to travel. So you don't need to build vehicles to travel and use them. So you can have an affinity with cars. For example, I have an uncle who has 2 planets there, and he likes to buy vehicles all the time. He's always focused on that. So he's known for that. Every time we talk about him, everyone knows that he loves his vehicles, he loves to travel, And when I mean travel, it doesn't mean you need to go in another country. You can be traveling inside your own country also. So don't limit the sign. Don't say it's car, so someone. So yeah, I think you get it. I'm not going to repeat that. So you also have Jupiter in Amzu, which is very good. So it gives him a lot of creativity. That's a very good sign also. And that's also is Atmakaraka, his planet with the biggest degree. We don't see the degree here because I use the planet names instead, but if I remove that, you can see the degree is very high, and so that is Atmakaraka because there is no planet with higher degrees than that. So he's a very creative person, and Jupiter in the 5th house from the ascendant is a very good placement. So you can see here you have someone who has a lot of confidence because the sun is exalted, not exalted there, but it's very well placed. It's called Moola Trikona because it's in the first 20 degrees. And Mercury is also very well placed there. So he has a lot of strength, and one of the things also which connects him to AI is this sign, Vivasvan, which is the equivalent of Virgo. And he has Ketu here, and Ketu is connected to your past life. So, and Vivasvan itself is connected to AI because it's about efficiency, being efficient, trying to, it's a Mercury sign. So it's about integrating communication, etc. And don't limit this sign to just AI. I'm just using a shortcut here. This sign is not just AI, and many signs I think are connected to AI, not just this sign. But here he has Ketu there, and the lord of this Ketu is Mercury in Indra. And I wanted to talk about that also because in the next eclipse we are going to have, it's going to hit this side of himself. He also has Mars in Pisces here, and I think this Mars in Pisces next to Rahu is his need to build rocket ship, and he's doing it in a very spiritual manner. He's trying to reach the star, and I think he's not reaching much because that's in the 8th house, it's hidden, and nobody knows really what he's doing there. I think I have my personal opinion on what NASA and his rocket company are doing, but I think that's very spiritual. It's not clear, and it has nothing to do with what most people think. And so that's why it's in the 8th house, and it's going to hit that. I saw a video recently of someone named Eli, the computer guy. He was talking about that Elon Musk company, the rocket company, is losing stock and going down on the market, but not sure if that's important because a lot of people are struggling right now due to the war, so maybe it's just normal that it's struggling. So let's go to the eclipse panel now. In the eclipse panel we have an important eclipse coming up in one day. You can see here August 12. In one day this eclipse is going to start to become active. So you can see just below solar total central eclipse, you can see active window from 12 July to 12 September. So tomorrow, probably today if you watch this video the next day that I published it, you will have this this eclipse starting to influence us. So I'm going to load this eclipse on, I have already loaded here in the USA, You can see at the top here USA and the eclipse. So you can see that it's occurring in Virgo, which is Vivasvan here, which is the equivalent of Virgo. And we have the eclipse point, which start to arrive in Pisces. So I think this rocket ship is trying to, his company there is going to, there's something that is going to manifest there, whatever that manifests. And you can see here we have 4 planets in Vivasvan, including an exalted Mercury, which I already talked about in the previous video. And I think this Mercury is the best planet there because it's in his exaltation in the first 10 degrees. Yeah, if I remember correctly, it's the first 10 degrees, depending on which philosophy you follow. And moon here is there because it's an eclipse with the sun, so it's a new moon, and it's an eclipse because there is also Ketu here at the same time, which is the eclipse point. And so I'm going to load the Tajika aspect, which is the Western aspect, the same thing, it's called Tajika, it's the same thing. And here we can see the moon is trined by Saturn. And the sun itself also is trined by Saturn, and is opposite Jupiter, is trined by Mars, sextile by Mars, conjunction by the moon, which is normal, it's an eclipse. And so we have all of those aspects there. And Neptune, Uranus or Pluto is not aspecting any of the sun or moon. So we have an eclipse here, which is some kind of free from outer planet aspect, which is kind of, I think, quite rare. We have a Pluto opposite Mercury though. So this Mercury, which is exalted, it's going to be some kind of transformation that will happen in a good way because Mercury is very well placed. So even if we actually have Pluto influencing Mercury, since it's a very good Mercury, it's not going to cause too much trouble. And we have Jupiter, which is also helping Mercury at the same time. So Mercury is fine here. It's not perfect because it's also happening with an eclipse, so it's going to be a bit some unexpected or difficult change at the same time because all eclipse can be about something changing. And all of this is occurring if we go back to his chart here. This is happening in his Ketu here, so he's going to have a Ketu return with this eclipse at the same time, which is going to happen. So, and it's happening in his second house. So money is going to be important here. Assets, resources, his abilities. So recently Grok became one of the top models. So I don't listen to hype and I follow models' creativity and abilities a lot. And I know that recently Grok became very important. Before that, all the reviews that was talking about Grok as something special, this was basically lie, and even himself, Elon Musk, admitted that Grok wasn't special. But that was maybe because his sun is very well placed. So if he does something if he has a project which is not performing, he's going to be honest about it. From this side, actually, there is some honesty in his chart. There is also some lie. I often talk about him lying and hiding a lot of things. That's his very difficult Varuna here with Venus and Saturn, which is afflicted. But he also has a lot of honesty because of his sun on the ascendant, very well placed with Mercury. Also that Jupiter, very well placed, helps him being very creative. So if something doesn't work, he doesn't really care, because he's very intelligent because of that sun. So he knows he's going to be able to build something later that's going to be important. And I think it's occurring right now. It's happening right now. So this, and when this eclipse is going to occur on the exact day, because right now, if we go on the eclipse here, we can see that we will be, am I using the good, well, it's not a good one, that's a solar one, and the lunar one, no, that's a solar, but that's the current one we were viewing, which is a solar eclipse. It's a new moon, it's a solar eclipse, sorry. So, it's happening from 12th of July to 12th of September. But on the 12th August, it's like the moment where it's going to manifest the most. And as we get closer to this August 12th date, we are going to see those events manifest more and more. So that's a chart for right now. That's a transit, sorry. So if we go back to here, the next eclipse also it's occurring in Tvasta. So he's going to have an eclipse occurring in Vivasvan and then in Tvasta, because that's also what I should have shown here. The next one, if we load it, let's load it. I don't really care about the place for now, but you can see here that the eclipse, the sun will be in Tvasta, so it's going to activate his moon, which is there, and you have the moon in Dhata, which is the equivalent of Aries. So the next eclipse is going to influence his Tvasta. So maybe on the next eclipse we are going to see an announcement about Tesla, something happening with Tesla, because vehicles is going to be very important during that phases, during those eclipses, and this one. If we go, so let's stop there. It's going to be too complicated. I wanted to do more, but let's talk about it anyway. I just want to talk about it. Let's go back to explain that here. So if we load this eclipse here, which is the solar eclipse that we just watched, you can see here at the bottom we have a founding eclipse. This founding eclipse, if I click on it, it's loading it, and it's the birth chart of the eclipse, which I already explained also in the previous video. If we load it, we are going to have this eclipse occurring in Dhata. So Vivasvan, the eclipse in Vivasvan, which is Virgo, is going to have an event connected to Dhata Aries. So I think this is connected to AI, and it's going to be something difficult here, because Saturn, like I said in the previous video, is forming a square to the moon here. The moon is in the last degree, and Saturn here is also in the last degrees, and let's put the degree so we see that. It's at 25, and here it's at 23. So Saturn is making almost an exact square on the moon and on the sun also, because the sun is at 26, and Pluto also. So we have a very difficult change which is required of us from this founding eclipse, and it's going to be about who we are, what we are building, our creativity, because the fire sign, the first fire, is about building who you are, but also children or creativity or whatever come up from your brain, because the sun, this sign is connected to the head. You can see here body part, head, skull, bone structure, but the head and the brain itself is occurring in this sign in particular. So anything that is connected to intelligence, and AI is connected to intelligence, is connected to this sign also. So maybe some difficult change is going to occur during this eclipse about AI, about efficiency, because it's connected to Virgo, which is about efficiency and building something that can be replicated easily, that can learn on itself. It's not really intelligence, the Virgo side. It's about replicating documents, writing and documenting something. It's an earth concrete element. While Dhata itself, it's about being able to be intelligence and rebuilding something that change all the time, compared to Vivasvan, which is about itself, about writing. So I think it's going to be some kind of difficult thing here. So the founding eclipse is a very difficult one here, I think, because it's occurring also in Dhata, and Saturn is not very well placed itself in Varuna. So there is something difficult that we are not going to want to transform, because Pluto is destroying something that needs to be destroyed, but it doesn't want to destroy it. And so the sun itself is very well placed, so in this eclipse. The moon itself is not bad either, because it's well placed in Dhata, because the next sign is the exaltation. So I think it's going to be hard, but at the same time good things are going to come, because the sun and the moon itself are very strong there, but much more the sun is exalted there. And if we load the retinue beings on top of it, we can even read the Trimshamsha beings here. This is connected to the 2nd and 7th house from Dhata. So you can read that, and some of those things are probably going to happen in this eclipse in a very good way. So it's about wealth, the 2nd house, resources, and the 7th house, which is exchanges. So when it's not afflicted, we can read the L3 expression. The person is genuinely ready for when partnership and financial commitment arrive. Their inner ground have been worked, finances are in order, self-knowledge is established, emotional regulation is stable, they can receive other people in their life and offer real value back. The exchanges they enter tend to land well because preparation preceded engagement. Being ready is itself a huge part of having success. So here, that means this eclipse, the good part of it actually, will land very correctly, because the sun is exalted there. It's also in the 10th house here for... Did I connected the... Not sure. For the US, it's not in the 10th house, it's in the 3rd house. It's still exalted. So I was reading from another country here, but overall it's still a very good sun. And here in the 3rd, it's also about intelligence also, or developing something. So it's going to be about self-development even more for the USA, because it's occurring in the 3rd house. So that's it for this video. Let's stop it. Hopefully it was recording, because this software I'm using kind of special. Yes, it was. So thank you for watching, and see you later.